Good morning, and welcome to a celebration, the naming of the new American Film School at Arizona State University. I'm Stephen Tepper, Dean of the Herberger Institute for Design and the Arts, coming to you from Tempe, Arizona, and I am joined today by Valeria Valdez Cosillon. She's a student here at Arizona State University, a junior, double majoring in business and film production, and she is one of our extraordinary student leaders leading a student group called Film Alliance. Valeria, welcome.
Hello, Dean Tepper. It's an honor to be here. I'm very excited for what today's announcement means for all the students. We're coming to you from the beautiful Tempe campus, which resides in the homeland of different tribal nations, particularly the O'odham and the Peeposh. We acknowledge these indigenous communities that reside in this territory. One of the reasons I got into filmmaking is because I really like the power of storytelling and how it can help us communicate diverse stories and connect us to one another.
And there it is. That is the power of film in a nutshell. Look, we are all gathered virtually because of this pandemic, but this is a moment where we can still come together and celebrate the naming of this new American Film School for an extraordinary human being. This film school has evolved from a film program that started 8 years ago that now has over 700 students. And in the next year, we will be operating across 3 cities, Los Angeles, California, Mesa, Arizona, and Tempe, Arizona. And this film program will grow, it will double in size, and it will be built on this unbelievable foundation of ethical and collaborative filmmaking that embraces ASU's core charter, which is that we will measure ourselves by who we include and how well they do, not by whom we exclude. And that is the charter and the mission of this new American Film School that we're proud to advance and name today. This new film school will educate the next generation of diverse film and media makers who are representative of the creative diversity and energetic force of this nation, and they will be prepared to work in all areas of the film and media industries. I am proud to officially announce from this day forward, the new American Film School will be named the Sidney Poitier New American Film School, named for a legend. And this is a full circle moment. Sidney was the first black man to win an Academy Award in 1963 for the film Lilies in the Field, which was shot right here in Arizona. And his time here during that film remains the source of his enduring affection for this state. This is a legacy moment for our new American Film School, carrying the name of one of the most honored figures in American film history. Later in the program, we're going to hear from Sidney's family, but now I'd like to turn it over to President Michael Crow, whose vision and support have paved the way for this historic moment.
Hi, Michael Crow here, President, Arizona State University. This is really an exciting day, the launching of the new American Film School with Sidney Poitier as our naming for the film school. But let me give you a little bit of history. ASU is a new kind of public university, deeply committed to unbelievable high levels of excellence matched with unbelievable high levels of egalitarian access. And so when we think about the building of a new American Film School around our idea of a new American university, it is in fact all about finding a way to match unbelievable excellence with unbelievable social impact, with egalitarian access, and with scale. Film schools typically have not been scalable. They typically have not been broadly representative of all aspects of our society. And so we're really excited to launch the new American Film School in the spirit of ASU as the prototype new American university. And we are investing resources. We're investing everything we've got to make this work in Los Angeles, in Phoenix, in Mesa. And our plan here is to, as we've done with some of our other schools, to mix it up quite a bit, to change. The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication named for an icon of American culture in a critically important, ever more important intellectual and practical sector, journalism. Likewise, Sidney Poitier and all that he represents, the notion of work focus, of just unbelievable excellence, the highest level of excellence possible in the field, artistic expression, but more than anything, just this representative of what it means to work hard, what it means to be creative, what it means to make things happen, what it means to take on challenging subjects, what it means to speak with authority, to act with authority, to speak with passion, to act with passion, to do all of these things. And so what we are doing here is not just recognizing Sidney for all of his achievements, his lifetime of achievements and his legacy, but really naming our New American Film School for a person that embodies in his very person that which we strive to be, the matching of excellence and drive and passion with social purpose and social outcomes, all the things that his career has really stood for. So it's really an exciting opportunity for us to advance this new model of a scalable, multi-campus film school, one with a broad student body, one with thousands of students that will ultimately be a part of this. And what we're really looking for, also in the spirit of Sidney Poitier, is this notion of new waves of creativity, new ways of expression, new ways of taking on questions of social change and social justice and social outcomes and the ideas of all things that are behind that, but not just through the traditional medium of film itself, through film and through other forms of expression in which we can engage thousands or millions of people around these ideas. And that this is what this school is about. So it is an unbelievable honor to have this opportunity to name the school for Sidney Poitier, to launch the Sidney Poitier New American Film School, to have this school enter the other film schools operating in the United States and around the world, but to really take on this question of social impact, egalitarian access, social scale, social diversity, unbelievable excellence. That's what this is all about. Now, none of this could have happened without the work and the effort and the drive of Michael Burns, the vice chairman of Lionsgate, an ASU alum, who has helped make all of this happen. So let me turn this over to Michael, and who's over in LA, and on to Michael.
I'm very happy to be here, President Crow. Thank you. This is an important day for ASU, my alma mater, and for the film industry as a whole. When Dean Tepper visited me in Los Angeles last spring to tell me that ASU was creating the New American Film School and that the intention was to create the most ethical, egalitarian, and inclusive film school in the nation, I immediately thought of one person, Sidney Poitier. There are few individuals whose life and career better represent this ethos. As a leader in the film industry, I know that the need for greater change is urgent and long overdue. I also know that this naming is more than just a moment in time. It signals a transformative cultural shift in our nation. In a letter to his great-granddaughter, Sidney Poitier once wrote that it is important to fix your eye on people of your parents' generation, or perhaps those even older, to find those you can admire for their qualities of character and contribution. Heroes and role models are important, especially because when you think of them, they have the ability to buoy your spirits and ignite your energies to move you onward. Sidney Poitier is a hero and role model whose example will ignite the energies of countless students. I'm very proud to be associated with this effort and to be working with the Poitier family and ASU to move forward on this endeavor together. Now, let's take a look at the short video celebrating the career and legacy of the marvelous Sidney Poitier.
Sir Sidney Poitier grew up on Cat Island in the Bahamas. His parents worked on their family farm. They instilled in him a strong work ethic, a strong sense of self. The youngest of 7 children, ambassador, author, knight, Academy Award-winning actor, producer, and director, Mr. Poitier, His Excellency, Sir Sidney are but a few titles of distinction he has earned. Mr. Poitier has done it all with unmatched grace.
And now, there are a few special friends who'd like to share their congratulations.
Hello, my name is Harry Belafonte. I would like to congratulate Arizona State for having selected my dear friend Sidney Poitier to name its film school after. Sidney is not only a fine artist, but also a dear human being and a wonderful American citizen. Thank you, Arizona State. Thank you, Sidney. And congratulations once again.
Hi, I'm Walter Parks. It was about 30 years ago that my partner, Larry Lasker, and I wrote a script and made a movie about a group of misfit computer hackers called Sneakers. Now, the group included an ex-CIA agent with a secret in his past, a man whose experience and gravitas sort of provided a counterbalance to the antics of the others. The character was very much the adult in the room. Now, for reasons I still cannot explain, we were able to attract an extraordinary cast. It was Robert Redford, Ben Kingsley, River Phoenix, and Dan Aykroyd, Mary McDonnell, and as that ex-agent, Sidney Poitier. Now, I've come to learn that every now and then an actor's contribution in a film can transcend the performance you see on screen and seep into the essence of every frame. That's what happened here. Because Sidney himself, well, he became the adult in the room. Just being exposed to Sidney's talent and intelligence, his professionalism, humility, and his grace made all of us, actors and crew, and, well, the film itself, it made us better. Which is why I think it's so apt for ASU's New American Film School to be honored with Sidney's name. I've been fortunate enough to be working with ASU over the last year, and I've seen close up an unrelenting commitment to inclusion, social responsibility, innovation, and quality. And those are words that could be used to describe the career of the school's namesake. So to you, Sidney, and to ASU, congratulations on this first step of this journey. It really is a match made in heaven.
I am so delighted to have been asked to pay tribute to the great Sidney Poitier on this occasion. Sidney, like all American actors, I consider you to be one of my absolute heroes, a man who has changed movies, entertainment, the whole country for the better. The Sidney Poitier New American School of Film is a great and appropriate title. So many of us know buildings, colleges, universities with names that have long outlasted their namesakes. That's never going to happen to you, Sidney. You are one of our founding fathers. Congratulations on this great honor. ASU is honoring you, but you are honoring ASU.
What an extraordinary life, an extraordinary legacy. Sidney Poitier truly represents a lifetime of ethical, collaborative, and powerful filmmaking. It is my privilege to introduce Beverly Poitier Henderson, Anika Poitier, and Sidney Poitier Hartsong, 3 of Sidney's 6 daughters. We are so honored to have you join us today for this momentous occasion.
So, hey, we all know your father publicly, but we'd love to hear more about what it was actually like to grow up with him.
Daddy's always been concerned with the family of man. And he talks about that a lot in his books. And I think that this is one step towards taking care of the family of man, educating and bringing so many different people, so many different students together to do more than just learn how to use a camera and learn how to act.
He always told us when we were younger to be the captain of our own ship, be the captain of your own ship. So what that meant was you have to know where your moral compass lies and where your true north lies, and you have to set your sights on that and not veer from that course despite whatever outside forces are trying to push you off of it.
Given, the situation in which you came to this country, I think that, being the captain of your own ship, not letting anyone define you, telling the truth, your word is your honor, all of those things were things that he carried with him from the Bahamas. I know that, your word is your honor came from his mother. And it's something that I think that being here by himself, he held on to those things and brought them through. It's kind of what got him through difficult situations. And I think that it was really important for him to sort of pass that on to his children.
Daddy always says that what you do in life reflects on your family. So you need to keep that in mind when you're, whatever your choices are, whatever you do, because you're doing it in the name of your family. I know that when he would see his name in quote unquote lights, what he saw was his father's name, not his.
He was full of wisdom for us at all times. He was philosophical in a way that other fathers were not. He was just present in ways that you don't normally see. And for that, we're so appreciative. But also, of course, it comes with hundreds of people coming up to you in an airport when you're trying to get to New York, or, there was that aspect, which was normal to us because it's how we grew up. But yes, can be a little bit strange when you sometimes we kind of, when we were little, we would just look at him and be like, what's the big deal? Like, he's just, that's dad, and I think we understood it more as we grew older. I also think Beverly's experience was a little bit different than mine and Anika's because when Beverly was a child, he was in the heyday of his career when he was his most famous. When Anika and I were children, he was largely retired. So he was home a lot with us and was more dad than he was actor in our eyes. So, but he is a wonderful, loving, beautiful, and brilliant dad.
Ditto, I would have to say. It was a bit different for us. I remember going to Disneyland and being thoroughly annoyed because all these people kept coming up to him and wanting autographs and, and oh my God, and this is Sidney Poitier. And we wanted to get on the rides. I mean, that's why we were there, right? So what we did was people would come up to us because we were behind him and say, is that Sidney Poitier? And we'd say, no, people say that all the time. He just looks like him. Well, Daddy overheard that and was very unhappy with us. He told us it was disrespectful and these were the people who put us and him where he was, so we had to respect that. So we never did it again.
And schoolwork had to be done. School was most important. If we were ever struggling with something, he would help, or if he couldn't help because, he didn't have that kind of formal education. So like 5th grade math was like foreign to him. He was so worldly and educated about so many things, but, trying to divide or do a fraction was not his strong suit. So he was always quick to bring somebody in, if it was a tutor or somebody to help us, so that we could get the most out of our education, so that we could have the greatest chances in the world. I think he sort of thought that was the way for us. And he really wanted all of us to go into something a little more academic. I don't think acting was his first choice for me, but he was really hopeful he'd end up with like a scientist, a teacher, an engineer, but that didn't happen. So that would be my 2 cents for how we grew up.
It's, it's the old adage, if you tell a kid not to do something, that's exactly what they're going to do.
I sat down and I said, so Dad, I'm going to be a drama major. And I kind of just waited and he was like, sorry? And I said, I think I'm going to be a drama major. And he just sort of, in his very intimidating, solemn presence, kind of got very quiet. He said, okay, all right, well, what is it you need from me? And I said, I have this audition I have to prepare, and would you be willing to help me with it? And he said, yes, of course I will help you with it. So he helped me with my audition. I got into the school, and then he still would try to talk me out of it a lot. He still would sort of say, but I know you're doing this, but what about those neuroscience classes you were taking? That sounds really interesting. He was always sort of trying to push me in another direction, and I never would let him come and see my performances. I was too nervous. And finally, my junior year, I was like, okay, I have to let him come. And so I didn't let him come to the performance. I let him come to the dress rehearsal. It was him and Harry Belafonte. I'm sorry to all of my fellow classmates who probably all pooped their pants on that night when they walked in to watch the dress rehearsal. But I let him watch the dress rehearsal because I was too nervous to let him come to the performance itself. And then after that, he's like, yeah, you're an actor. And he got on board and he was fully supportive after that.
So I remember going in to his study and he was reading, and I went around to see, what he was reading, and he was reading one of my school books, trying to understand and know what we were learning so that he could then help us with what we were learning. And I just thought that kind of just like sums him up in a nutshell. Like he loves learning. He loves the pursuit of knowledge. And I think that's something he instilled in all of us, really. And that's my story.
Good one.
Yes, education was a big deal. But the other thing was there were certain programs we were not allowed to watch. Anything that denigrated Black people, anything that gave the wrong impression of who we are. And I can remember there was some show on, it was two birds, and we were watching it and they turned it off, and there's no way that, we could watch that. And he explained why, because it was a caricature of quote unquote Black people. So we got a lot of lessons in history from Daddy and my mother as well. But for us, history was happening all around us too, because it was in the 50s and 60s. So, they talked a lot about what was going on and what was expected of us, and et cetera, et cetera.
First of all, diversity and inclusivity is something that is at the forefront of what my dad was trying to achieve. And I know that at the time, the thing that angered him the most was that he was the only one. He was the only one standing up there. He was the only one who won an Academy Award. He was, and he fought so that others could be included as well. He wanted to see his story and his likeness represented on screen. And he was also keenly aware of the fact that that wasn't going to fully happen in the way that it should happen unless there were people also behind the camera.
It's really important to have diversity in the stories that we tell, and they need to be told by the people who are living these stories. And I think that is a huge problem in this industry. And, the fact that there are so many stories, about Black people, brown people, women that are not told by the people who have lived these stories and who are denied their perspective, I think is dangerous, really. And I think it's absolutely imperative that we open up these conversations and we open up, like schools, like exactly what you are doing, which will hopefully encourage people to come and learn and be able to tell their stories, and have a platform in which to share those stories as well, because I think that it's what the world needs desperately right now.
Film, this industry is so powerful. It shapes things that happen in our society. I think I credit Daddy with a lot because of his choices, and because people saw a Black man who was not a butler, who was not, a criminal, who was, someone that they could relate to. And I think it's so important that we expand on that. And I always tell my kids, I said, you look at movies and you look at commercials, and especially abroad, people think that's life. People think that's the real deal. And if you're not seeing yourself, or you're not seeing people who you want to emulate.
The fact that this is not just a film school, but this is a place of, like you said, diversity and inclusivity, that this is a place where kids are going to go to be creative and to learn, that is just a gift to him. And we're all very, very thrilled about it.
Our society has been moved forward by film and by television. And if you pay attention to movies and you pay attention to television and even commercials, you'll see a lot more interracial couples. You'll see a lot more gay couples, you'll see, a lot of everything else that wasn't, readily available back in the day. So it's a responsibility, it's not fun and games. You are shaping the world and changing the world with your work as a filmmaker.
I think it's a huge honor to have this film school named after my dad. I think he feels it's a huge honor. I think it marries the two things that have been most defining and most important to him in his life, which are education and the arts.
It's fitting that ASU is embracing his work ethic and embracing his commitment to truth and his commitment to the arts and his commitment to education. So, we're very happy. He's very happy. Now, if you could have a dual degree of arts and medicine, he'd be extremely happy.
I am so excited to be working with you, with Joanna, with your entire family as we build this extraordinary school in honor of and in the legacy of your father. Now, I want to pitch it back to Valeria. Valeria, I think you've got some thoughts and expressions to bring to us from our students and faculty of the New American Film School.
Thank you, Dean Tepper. Yes, we do have a video from my fellow students and the film faculty. Let's take a look at that video.
I chose to major in film because I've always been obsessed with movies since I was a little kid.
It was something that I knew I had to do my entire life.
I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do at the time. I knew I was pretty good at writing, and that's what I enjoyed, and I loved stories.
I agree with all those statements. I apologize.
In film, I can learn about a lot of different things with what story I tell.
And I've been fascinated by how they tell stories and what stories they're trying to say.
The essence of stories and also the importance of telling your own story.
So I just wanted to be a part of that and just tell people my own stories.
The stories we tell, although they're going to be iterations of things we already know, getting a different perspective is what keeps them new and fresh.
Workers, artists, they have stories to tell.
And as a Black woman myself, I think it's just so valuable to see someone like me on the screen as well as behind it.
On screen, there's a lot of representation that's going on. Like, I love that for us. But I feel like behind the scenes, like in the writers' rooms and camera departments, I don't feel like those spaces are very diverse yet.
I identify as non-binary myself. I have lots of friends who are trans, and we all agree that just showing our own experiences on screen is one of the most important things we can do.
I think there's almost a responsibility in film. We influence so much of the world, and the tropes and stories and things that have been left in place, I think it's time for an emerging generation to show growth.
And in the process, if it can have time travel in it, that's great.
And especially once I was already on campus, I knew that that's what I was supposed to be doing. And just some of the best people I've genuinely been able to meet, honestly, and the professors to make it.
Folks of different backgrounds and predominantly like Hispanic and Native American and Chicano people, like that's the people that I grew up around. So I was very comfortable finding those folks in the school, and transferring there was very special to me because that is something that I think about, and I feel like a lot of folks who aren't Native American or maybe not even people of color don't think about who's indigenous to the land, who's involved there, what kind of communities are involved there.
We've worked on a lot of projects together, we've shot a lot of things, and we won that award together. It's one of those great chance encounters that you only get when you go to a school where you're around a lot of other people working in the same career path as you.
So 10 years from now, I hope to either work for an independent film studio.
I really want to be working in the industry as a sound designer.
Helping to commission content.
Work my way up and, make films or TV shows that I'm passionate about.
On a film set, hopefully it's for DPing on the project.
I'm happy to be working to be part of a solution.
I think it's very important that women decide the kind of programs that we see.
Hopefully in 10 years, I'm a cinematographer on an independent project somewhere.
Honestly, I just hope to be an artist that is continuing to help other artists grow and show stories.
Hi, my name is Michael Fitzsimons.
Stella Foval.
Gail Talmanbang.
Hello.
My name is Autumn Billy.
My name is Drew Gooden.
I am Serena Hoskins.
Sedona Rose Solnier.
My name is Pallavi Shukla.
Gabriel Chapman.
Hi, my name is Taria Terry, and I'm the future of film.
And I'm the future of film.
And I am the future of film.
And I am the future of film.
I am the future of film.
I'm the future of film.
And I'm the future of film.
And I'm the future of film.
And I am the future of film.
And I am the future of film.
And now introducing Elisiana Nascimento, Assistant Professor at the Sidney Poitier New American Film School.
On behalf of my colleagues in the faculty of the Sidney Poitier New American Film School, I want to share how honored we are to be part of this amazing moment and to acknowledge how deeply we appreciate the opportunity to be stewards of this incredible legacy. We all recognize Sidney Poitier as an example of passion, vision, and integrity, qualities we hope our students will observe, develop, and share. But we are also delighted to share the work of an important filmmaker, one who understood that representation and equality happens on both sides of the camera. As faculty, we are so proud of the way our students and program have grown, and so thrilled that our new name will help elevate our students' work and magnify the mission and value of ASU. To our film students, we hope you join us as we find the creative ways to embrace this legacy. From special projects about the life of Sidney Poitier, to screenings of his films, to meaningful discussions about making sure the values of our school measure up to the person whose name you will carry with you on your diploma for the rest of your life. Let's be sure we find new and powerful ways to not only celebrate this moment, but also to make sure our program, like our namesake, is a beacon of good in the world. A place where a student can say yes to every opportunity that enriches them, and where every student is inspired by a legacy of a great artist who shared his talent with dignity, passion, and vision.
A big thank you to our students and our faculty. Wow, that was incredible. You see why I wake up every day excited and proud to be part of this community. These students and faculty are going to make the Poitier family proud and truly live up to the legacy of Sidney Poitier. Now I'd like to pitch it over to Tiffany Ana Lopez, our Vice Provost for Inclusion and Community Engagement here at Arizona State University. Welcome, Tiffany.
Thank you, Dean Tepper. I'm honored to be here with you. As you mentioned, I'm the university's Vice Provost for Inclusion and Community Engagement, and I'm also former director of ASU's School of Film, Dance, and Theater. And like so many of our students in the Sidney Poitier New American Film School, I'm the first generation in my family to go to college. And so I understand how it is for our students. If they can't see it, they can't be it. It's very significant that this is a film school that looks, acts, and works like no other, a film school named for an historic innovator who pushed for excellence in his field by thinking about social justice and community. The work that the film school's students and faculty are doing will deliver the kinds of colleagues and contemporaries that Sidney Poitier was looking for in his career and that he pushed for both in front of and behind the camera. Sidney Poitier said, "I did not go into the film business to be symbolized as someone else's vision of me." And that is true for our own students who come to ASU with their own vision and voice, their own stories, looking to take their work to the next level. With the support of faculty and one another, our students see themselves, not someone else's vision of them, in an environment where they have the opportunity to do their very best work.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez, for those inspiring words. To build a film school, it takes a village, and we've had many extraordinary partners, but none that have invested as much will and energy and resources than the city of Mesa, which will be the home for our new American Film School. The city of Mesa is innovative, forward-looking, diverse, and this new film school will be at the center of that energy and imagining the future of this great city. So I want to thank and welcome the great mayor, John Giles, to talk about this historic partnership.
Thank you, Dean Tepper. This is really an amazing day for both ASU and the city of Mesa that we've all been looking forward to for quite a long time. It causes me to reflect on 6 years ago when I was a brand new mayor of Mesa. Literally one of the first things I did was ask for an appointment with Dr. Crow because I was anxious to get his help. And I recall sitting down for that meeting and being nervous because I wasn't sure of who the man was that I was about to meet with. And I couldn't have been more relieved and excited as I got to know him and talk with him and discover that this was a man who cared as much about Mesa, Arizona as I did, and who had a shared sense of mission along with me to come to Mesa and to elevate our community and to address the needs of our community. Mesa is a wonderful, wonderful city. People are very anxious to live here. We've got a lot to offer. But like any place, we have things that we need to get better at, and one of those is higher education attainment. So our opportunity to bring ASU just a few short miles down the light rail corridor into the heart of our downtown is a tremendous opportunity for us. Downtown Mesa is one of my favorite places on the planet. It's got character. It's got it's the real deal, and it's been really impacted as well by the arrival of ASU. Even before ASU opens its doors, the ripple effects of it having ASU come to our downtown have been very obvious and very significant. New businesses are opening in our historic downtown, up and down Main Street. Every time I have the opportunity to talk to a new business or a business that is thinking about expanding in the city of Mesa, in every one of those conversations, ASU is a topic, and this campus and ASU's commitment to our community and to our downtown. So we're very excited that we have another opportunity along with Poly and other things that we're doing to partner with ASU. But even more than that, we're excited with the programs that ASU is bringing to downtown Mesa. The Sidney Poitier New American Film School is going to become the center of the universe for a lot of industries, not just the film industry, but a lot of industries. The augmented reality, the 3D design, the experiential design, all of those technologies that are part of filmmaking have application really in almost every industry you can think of. So anytime I talk to a business that is thinking about expanding or coming to Mesa, we talk about this building and what ASU is going to be doing in the heart of downtown Mesa. So thank you, Dr. Crow. Thank you, Dean Tepper. Thank you to everyone at ASU who has become such a great partner with the city of Mesa. I understand that this is just the beginning, but we're off to a really great start. So go Devils and go Mesa.
Thank you, Mayor Giles. We look forward to working with you on this partnership for many years ahead. As I mentioned before, this new film school will operate across 3 cities: Mesa, Arizona, Tempe, Arizona, and Los Angeles, California. In Los Angeles, ASU has taken over the historic Herald Examiner building to restore it to its former glory with new technology, new equipment, state-of-the-art facility, which will allow our students in the New American Film School to be at the heart of film and television in the world. So we couldn't have done this without the warm embrace and partnership of the city of Los Angeles. So I'd like to now welcome and introduce Mayor Garcetti.
Thank you, Dean Tepper, for your leadership in shepherding the development of this school. And thank you as well to my friend, President Michael Crow, whose vision for a university of the future has changed the landscape of public education in Los Angeles and throughout our nation and world. It's a real pleasure to share this virtual stage with my brother and colleague, Mayor Giles. And to the Poitier family, I am humbled and honored to be part of this celebration of one of the most important trailblazers in the history of American cinema. Sidney Poitier battled hatred and bigotry at another time of great strife in our country, when people cried out for justice. He brought unforgettable characters onto the screen and into our collective American conscience. This school is a fitting honor for a man who opened so many doors and broke down so many barriers. For far too long, Hollywood has bypassed these stories of people who didn't fit a narrow mold. But those days are over, and this film school is a clear physical manifestation of that change. It finds its home in the Herald-Examiner building, a historic landmark in downtown Los Angeles that has long represented the push and the pull of change. The building was designed for a man who was made rich by the printing press and created California's first registered female architect, Julia Morgan. Throughout its history, the Herald-Examiner has seen a lot. Harry Houdini hung from its rooftop, and countless films and television episodes were filmed inside its walls. And now it will house a film school whose core mission is to expand access so that our creative narrative matches the amazing diversity found here in Los Angeles and Arizona, and frankly, across our nation. The Sidney Poitier New American Film School will transform who gets to tell the American story, and in turn, change the story itself. And I know the hard work and creativity that will take place here will be a testament to the remarkable life of its namesake. I'm thrilled to see ASU make a second home in Los Angeles and to help advance our city's mission to be a national leader in equity, creativity, and innovation. We all look forward to the future of this school and to this ongoing relationship. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Garcetti. I, for one, am looking forward to joining you when it's safe to do so. Now, Valeria, turning it over to you for some final thoughts.
I'd just like to say that it is an honor to attend a school that carries Sidney Poitier's legacy of inclusivity and overcoming adversity. His example is going to inspire current and future students to remember the value of diverse voices.
Thank you, Valeria. That was beautifully said. We have so many exciting things ahead this year. We are launching new degree programs. We are building our enrollments. We are expanding our Film Spark program in Los Angeles, connecting with so many industry partners. We are in the middle of choosing our inaugural director of the Sidney Poitier New American Film School, who will lead this new school with the same passion and integrity that Sidney has led his life and his work in Los Angeles and beyond. We are excited to have so many of you join with us this year, when it's safe to do so, at the ribbon cutting ceremony for this historic, renovated Herald-Examiner building. So much exciting things ahead. A big thank you to my co-host, Valeria. You're extraordinary. I can't wait to see what you do in the world. To President Michael Crow, to Michael Burns, to the Poitier family, and everybody else who has joined us for this historic announcement of the naming of the Sidney Poitier New American Film School.
This event side will remain open for the next 48 hours. Please feel free to look around the photo galleries and additional information about our new school. Thank you so much for joining us today.